we're back. Cage Chronicles. We haven't been around for a little while. Been a lot of traveling, a lot of events, but we're back now. Heaps of stuff's have happened over the last few weeks, and we're going to be talking to Jesse today about his fighting career, his background, hopefully going pro in the new year, and other bits and pieces. We're going to be talking to James about some big things happening for him. But yeah, how are you going, James? Good?
I'm good.
You good? Nice. How about yourself, Jesse?
I'm sweet.
You're sweet? Nice, cool. So, what things have been happening? Well, this last weekend, what's been happening for you, James?
Well, last Thursday I got my black belt from Steve and Reagan.
Professor?
Yeah, so now I'm a professor, so that's good. Moving up in the world.
How'd that feel?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually worried, like, thinking, obviously I'd been a 4-stripe brown belt for about a year, so I knew, like, it was coming sooner rather than later, but I was starting to think...
I suggested to Reagan that you get a 5th stripe, but
yeah,
you wouldn't have
hold me off another, yeah. But I was almost worried about maybe feeling flat afterwards, like you've spent 14 years training sort of knowing this sort of end goal, and then I've like really been enjoying the time leading up to it because you know you've just got this thing at the end to look forward to, and then I was worried that once I got it, like when I sort of got it, I was like, what if I have like a lull now and like get depressed,
like,
you know,
like the blue belt curse,
almost. The blue belt blues, like would I sort of go flat because now that's never going to happen again. Like you're never going to have that. That's like that one sort of pivotal moment I think in your jiu-jitsu journey. Like now you get your stripes on your black belt and stuff, but nothing's going to recreate that moment. Like
you get your black belt, you win the worlds, like things like that, you know.
Oh yeah,
Retire.
never retire.
That's right.
But, so I was sort of worried about that. But also, like sometimes I think about like, I'm like, that situation is never going to happen again. That grading's never going to happen again. So that's a bit sad in itself because I wasn't really like chasing it. I was just like, but towards the last sort of 6 months, 12 months even, I was really getting to the point where I did want it. And it also feels good to have that monkey off the back now as well. I don't really need to like think about it anymore. So I feel like
I think you go through a stage of like when you get your black belt up until a certain point you're like, oh, I don't know if I should be getting it. Oh no, it's a lot of pressure and all this other stuff. But then once you get over a certain stage, if you wait a little bit longer, then you think, right, I'm ready for the black belt. I'm ready to get to that next level because I feel like a black belt now, you know, and I'm performing like a black belt and everything's coming into place, you know.
And then, so then I competed 3 days later, which is pretty cool. When you think I didn't compete, I never competed at blue, I never competed at purple, went back to competing at brown, which was like that was like scary to do, I think, after 7 years off, just trying to like put myself back out. You think, I can't even really remember what it was like to compete. And then you think the level's going to be so much higher. These guys have been competing the whole way through. So to go back in at brown was like hard, and then I've been obviously competing since then, went to Worlds and stuff like that, and then I think it was pretty cool. I was just actually thinking about it today, and I was like, it's pretty cool to go and compete as a black belt 3 days after getting my black belt. Like just get that
perfect timing.
Just get it, just get out there and get it done straight away, you know. And obviously I signed up as a brown belt because I wasn't promoted yet, and Adam messaged me to see if I would go up to black belt to go against Daz because he didn't have any opponents, and I said, I'll go up, and then I turned black belt anyway, and then I got a gi match in the black belt too. But 3 days later, I was like, I've already done that now. I've already had that first thing. I didn't even have time to build it up.
It's probably for the best, really.
Yeah.
Like, you get to it, it's no build up. There's no like build up. I should be like this feeling this way on this level.
Yeah.
You went there straight away. You performed really well. Daz competes all the time.
Yeah.
It's not as even when sometimes you're in a competition, you're testing your jiu-jitsu against their jiu-jitsu. It's how much they compete and how much they're used to it as well.
Yeah.
That comes into it a lot. And the way you perform was amazing. You had 3 draws against him, and then you had your gi matches as well, and a really good outcome for your first one in it as black belt.
And just to get that time, so obviously there was only 2 competitors. One was Daz in no gi. We were the only 2 black belts doing no gi. And then the only other person I had in my division was Rafael from West Coast in gi, but to get just under 30 minutes of match time, like 3 days after being a black
With
belt.
good level black belts.
Yeah,
you know,
like
so.
good level guys that compete a lot and both coach as well.
Yeah.
So they're up there. So I was thinking about it. I was like, man, that's pretty good to just go and do that. And also, I'm a fresh black belt, and there was no one for Daz to compete. Like, there's black belts around, you know, so you're getting out there and doing it and stepping up and taking the challenge. So, 6 matches, 5 draws and 1 loss. I got submitted once, but like I was saying to you before, we had 8 people in total compete. So this was at the first SGT Masters that
Everyone said it
Adam's
was
running.
good, so it was well run. Yeah.
It was really good. New systems in place to sort of follow IBJJF Worlds, like for weigh-ins and everything. So it was really well run. And hopefully it will build a little bit bigger, but I think it was nice being a smaller event with not so many people and not like 700 competitors. It was good, but also trying to like coach and compete, I always find like it's a bit hard. I like it. I like it because I don't stress about myself too much because I'm just like worrying about Corner and Courtney, and then I go off and compete against Daz. Then I come back, kick Dan out the chair, back to Corner and Courtney.
I think it takes your mind off a little bit as well. So I know that you get in your own head with someone else competing, so it's a good way to break away, but it can be stressful as well.
I think it's like I'm running around coaching and I'm like checking like who's on now, what's happening. Like some stuff with Andrew Baggio, like with his placements. I didn't talk to you about it yet, but as far as I'm concerned, he got silver, but I think he should have actually received gold. And it's like normally you can kind of, if I'm not competing, I can kind of stay on top of that stuff, talk to Adam, work it out. But I'm like down here doing this, whereas meanwhile my competitor's down the end, like headphones on, warming up, doing his thing, and I'm running around the place like geese on, half off, don't know where you're going. But it's also, I think it's like a pros and cons because you're not too stressed about what you're doing.
I'd love to be in that. I was in obviously Gold Coast for Frank's fight, but it would have been great to see everyone because it was a good number of people, like 7 or 8 masters. It was good tournament from what I'd seen. Yeah,
we had 8 people compete. So Courtney competed, which was good to get her back out on the mat. Yeah. So, and we had Courtney brown belt, Dave purple belt, Andrew blue belt. Swads, Riley was blue belt, Gemma competed. So 8 people in total. Kia competed as well. I think we got 4 medals in total. So 3 gold, 1 silver. So
brilliant.
Gi and no gi?
It's gi and no gi. So I did gi and no gi. Gemma did gi and no gi, and the others picked one or the other. I think.
When you're getting back on the old jiu-jitsu mats, on the old competition jiu-jitsu mats,
I think I got to make a return.
Yeah.
SGT. When's the first one of the year?
March.
March.
Yeah.
March.
So it'll be after your, hopefully, after your pro debut.
Yep.
So
I think that'll be the comeback.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'll be good. Because obviously, if you rolled with Jesse before, we know his high-level jiu-jitsu, and he showed it in your last fight. Talking about your last fight, how did you find it? How did you find it going against Lewis? Is Lewis, isn't it? Yeah.
I found it good. I think the stuff that we were working and drilling a week or 2 before helped a lot. And the fact that Lockie has already fought Lewis, and I was kind of emulating Lewis for Lockie the last fight, so it was kind of a switch.
Yeah.
And a lot of the tactics that we were working worked in the fight. So like that lead hand fighting, the switching the stances, like played out probably how I thought it was going to go, but just the letting him get up, not breaking him down at the hip was probably...
Yeah, but it's easier said than done. Obviously, that's what I wanted you to do, but, to be able to do that every time, it's going to be hard. Otherwise, everyone would do it. But I thought it was very impressive. I was watching it across... once Frank's fight had finished, we went back to the hotel, we watched your fight, and we're screaming at the screen and that, and he won every round, and it was just... Because the other lad's a really good up-and-comer, like he's 3-0, but I thought you'd be better in every stage. I thought you your wrestling, your jiu-jitsu, your striking, and it gets us ready for going to that pro debut and then finding someone to match. Because really you should be, 7-0? That's what you should be. We got ripped off in the Gold Coast again.
Oh, but us again.
But yeah, so I think we're ready to go up, ready to go pro, and there's quite a few flyweights coming through now. So it's really flyweights and bantamweights, but it's really getting a lot better now for pros than it was before. Before there was like three pro flyweights, and now there's like a lot more. I mean, half of them are in our gym, but other than that,
I get my ass whooped enough in here.
Yeah, so we got like between fly and bantam, we got like you, Moses, Ryan, Frank. Other ones coming through, like, so we've got like a lot of the high level lads here, which is really good for training.
So did you get to watch the fight?
Yeah, live.
Live?
Yeah, okay. So I was watching where we were downstairs. You been to the Gold Coast Eternal?
Yeah.
You been to the Gold Coast one? Yeah. So we were downstairs. There wasn't that much Wi-Fi, so I'm trying to watch like Alexis and Lockie, and it's like keeps breaking up and stuff, and I couldn't really see it properly, so I was getting the results afterwards. But when Frank's had finished, we literally ran straight upstairs, and yours was on like within like 20 minutes, and we watched yours live. We were watching the other ones before, which is great. So like, I'm shouting like instructions.
Yeah.
At the TV.
Super smooth.
Yeah, very smooth.
You kept getting to the body lock, like sort of against the cage. I reckon I kept on calling for like walk your hips in and pick him up, because I think you could have like walked your hips in, picked him up, and broke him down. And Cam was like yelling for knees all night. Cam was like literally anywhere we went, he's like at the bar, he's like knees. Like the bartender, this person was knees. He's like, he just wanted everyone to throw knees. And then when I think you were getting like those body locks up against the cage, because I was like, walk your hips in, you'll be able to take him down like every time. But then you ended up going with the knees, and then they were like cracking.
Jesse's got good knees against the cage.
They were cracking, yeah, Cam was like, finally someone's landed, throwing some knees.
He got me more hyped as he was saying, it's like knees. I was like, more knees.
More knees, yeah. And then they were cracking.
How do you feel? Do you feel strong, the other guy?
I was talking to Lukey about it just then, and it was, you know when you grab some... You know when you can feel like someone has like that dense strength, and he felt a bit more wiry, like a bit more awkward build, but like the John Alo fight, he felt dense.
Yes.
But I think I get tossed around in here enough, so I was like, no, I could deal with this.
Yeah.
And then as Cam was saying, the knees caught him with a few, and then I was like kind of like looking down. I was like, man, what's that head made of? Like,
a couple of them were cracking, like right in the corner, like in our corner as well, and you could hear them hitting.
And I think what you were mentioning, he liked the body lock, and then against the cage trying to pin me. Yeah. And I feel like the knees kind of like made him not want to go there. So
if you're when you're watching tape back on the guys before, like I'll watch it and I'll watch it in slow-mo, and you see like there's repetitive stuff that happens, and they're going to evolve, and you're going to evolve, and you're going to evolve when you fight, but there's not many people not like a John Jones where they change so much in between and use something brand new. So when I'm looking at the tape of him, there was certain movements he kept doing, and all these previous fights he kept doing. I went, well, he's going to go back to them. When he struggles with you, he'll go back to them. So if we can deal with them, then he's got nothing for us, you know what I mean? So that was the idea, and it was that body lock he kept going for all the time, and he was piercing that knee in between the leg. We'd always go for the same position.
And then it felt like as soon as I put that cross frame in, I was like, shit, here the knees come again.
Yeah, so exactly, and then hit that body shot, So it was very similar to Frank's fight when we were at Gold Coast. He was pressuring against the fence, and the other guy was framing our 2-on-1 hand control and working them knees. So he was pressing in, but then he was working them knees and doing them damaging shots as he was pressing against the fence. That's what you were doing to your guy. You your frame and then knee in where he was just pressing. Do you know what I mean? So then, and again, like, is it control or is it damaging? And it's like you were throwing the damaging shot. You know what I mean? So that's where we're looking. It's
kind of like the John fight where it was like you could have stole it with the judges if it was
100%. Well, no, but you won that fight. Definitely. You definitely won the fight.
His coaches said it.
His coaches said it. The promoters, everyone said he'd won the fight. It was just bad judging. And again, we were over for Frank's fight. Again, it was a 5-round fight. Some bad stuff happened during the fight. Did you see it or not?
He sent a picture in the group chat with like a
So he got kneed in the head really hard on a grounded opponent. It wasn't an accident at all. I thought he would have got DQ'd, but he got a point off. And then he was rocked, and then he was getting elbowed to the back of the head. So, like, I mean, I'm not saying that he would have won the fight, as in, like, on the judge's scorecard, but that stuff, like, how are you not dealing with that? You know what I mean? How are you not it's so frustrating because when you get backstage, the referees come around and they tell you this is the rules and we're not taking any shit with this and you can't hit a grounded opponent. This is what a grounded opponent is. You can't hit to the back of the head. And you're like, cool, we're not going to break the rules. And then for someone to do that, it really can change a whole fight. You know, like as he was trying to find his feet. So that was very annoying. And then the points for his fight was weird. It was like so weird. Like we had a total miss. Scoring, then you had a draw, then you had another one. It was like,
what fight were they watching?
I know it was just really strange, but not much you can do. You can't contest anything, and again, he's got to regroup and then get back in there. That's all he's got to do, you know. Like, just got to work a little bit more once he takes him down to the floor, and once he's against the cage, he was just. I think Frank thought he was winning the round just with that control, and he needs to do more. And that's just a learning curve. That's all it is, you know.
I get that belt back.
Yeah, he will. He 100% will. He'll get it back. But yeah, just not now. Have to fight someone else first, and then work his way back in there. Whichever way we go.
Well, is Drilic is now looking to be matched up again.
Yeah, so they'll give it to him. They'll give Drilic against the Japanese guy. Yeah. Whether it'll be February, I don't know. I mean, how injury, if he was injured or not, or whether he was fine. Then he'll fight Feb, and then I can see Drilic winning that, and then we'll see where we go from there. Yeah. I would say, you know,
surely a rematch.
Could be an upset. Yeah, hopefully that would be cool. But there's other options now. You know, there's lots of different places we can go and do stuff just to get the matches in and get the fights in. Yeah. But
well, what's to go with the Diamondback belt?
Oh, Diamondback belt is like, I don't think unless you get someone from Adelaide who wants to fight for that belt, I don't think we'll get a match for that Diamondback belt. I think that's just a one and done, right. I would say. But you never know. There might be someone there. If they get someone, because obviously any promotion, they want you to go somewhere where someone's a bit of a draw and they're going to sell tickets. So if you're going to go there and like Frank's going to fight someone from Melbourne in Adelaide, nobody's selling tickets. You know what I mean? So you got to be thinking from a promoter's mindset as well, so like sensibly. So we don't know what will happen with that one, but then there's Eternals and different promotions as well. So we'll get back in there once. Give him a bit of a rest first because that knee wasn't great. And I want him to rest a bit and not spar for a while. So yeah. So we had that fight, and then obviously on the same show as you, we had Alexis fighting. I thought did really well in the first round from what I've seen. I mean, what's your takeaway from the Alexis fight? You were in the corner.
Yeah, Alexis was. She did really well. I think, like surprisingly, pretty like calm out there, and like even backstage, she was like pretty calm. I think. Yeah. And she did really well. I mean, the girl she was against was like bigger, probably more reach.
So much bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like bigger reach and stuff, and no, it was like a pretty clean fight for her first fight, considering. So yeah, and there was like everything in that fight. Yeah. Like stand up, cage work, ground work, everything. Yeah. So she just turned her back at the end there, and then just got caught with the.
But again, like it's the first fight. It was the same. Like because we watched Alexis's fight and Lockie's after Frank's fight, but I already knew the result. So then, like, I'm watching it, and Alexis, like, is smashing the girl in the first round. I'm like, she must get caught with the sub. And the same for Lockie's. Lockie's, like, winning the first round.
So you're trying to work it out. You're right.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, how's he lose this fight? He's won the first round. Then he's winning the second round. And I was like, he must get caught with a sub or gets clipped or something. Because it said someone had said he'd lost, but then hadn't said how.
Yeah, so Alexis had her against the cage at one point, and she was Big Jeffa or whatever. I'm not sure of her name. Big. Her name's like Big Jeffa. I think.
Oh, like a
Big
fight
Jeffy.
name.
Yeah, that's her name. Big Jeffa. And she was like bent over, and Alexis was just like bashing her in the head, and the ref was right there. Like we Courtney and I, like we're like, and he's gonna stop her here, and then. Didn't stop her, and then I can't remember exactly what happened after that. So much has happened in the last few days. But it's like, and then it just super close to getting a win there, and then just at the end, just a little mistake. Like, instead of turning in, turned out, got her back.
She's got good potential, very good potential. Like, and then like to works more on the jiu-jitsu, wrestling, keeps working a strike, and like get back in there,
And Lockie was really good. I mean, compared to his last fight, remember his last fight?
I was very impressed, yeah.
We were in the corner for Lockie's last fight. He came out like the Tasmanian devil from Looney Tunes. So he was just all over the place, gassed himself out, backed himself against the cage, told the guy to try and punch him in the head while he was trying to, like, thought he was like, I don't know.
That's what I said to him before I left. I said, dude, none of that bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's just fight. Fundamentally, just fucking...
like throwing flying knees and stuff in the last fight. This fight was like so much better. Yeah. Such an improvement. Yeah. Nearly had his neck at the start, but just didn't have it cinched up.
Gilly?
Yeah, I think he might have had a ninja.
Deep one here, didn't he? Like, or something. I can't.
It was so scrambly. I couldn't even... You're there. You just... you can't even see what's happening. It's just like... He's got his neck, he's spinning out, he's kind of, Lockie was kind of switching grips and stuff. I don't know if he had a ninja guillotine, I'm not sure. And
I think when he was going for it, he was going for it here. It was like this one, I was
he likes
but he wasn't putting his weight over the person. So the problem is that people go like this and the person spins.
Yeah.
Like they just like spin and then they end up getting out of it.
Yeah, Lockie likes that like ball and socket grip. But the old mate kept spinning and then they were still fighting and he just got caught. I remember the finishing sequence. So you're trying to remember everything. You're at grading, then I had domination Saturday night, and then I had SGT Masters Sunday, my comps and everyone else's. So you're trying to remember everything. But he got caught in a... he was on the ground. I can't remember how they ended up there, but he was on the ground and his opponent threw on an armbar, and so I told him to sit up into it because as he was sitting back for the armbar, and Lockie did, he like defended, sat straight up. Like as soon as I said he sat straight up,
get his elbow out.
Yeah, and he sort of like sat up, stepped over, and then I was like, keep passing. You know how like you sort of can keep passing, like roll your arm and step over. Yeah. But he kind of like he must have lost his grip, sort of got extended on the armbar, stepped over, and then just stopped over the top, and then I think. The armbar sort of got put on, and Lockie didn't tap. They took it as a verbal tap because I think he didn't scream. I think according to Lockie, he said
because they say
he didn't scream.
When the referee's out the back, they're saying like if you get taken down, to land on you, they pull it. You go they're gonna stop, especially amateurs because it's like classed as a verbal tap.
Yeah, I think his elbow like popped a bit because he's kind of gone around and stepped over. You know, you need to roll your arm out if it's still extended. You need
was that belly down?
Kind of, yeah. So
I want to watch it again with him, just go through it, because it's some really good stuff to take away. Obviously, just
Izuchimata. Izuchimata was sick, though.
It was good,
I said to him, he was like, because afterwards he hit two of them, and because I had told you we did a full hour in a PT on his birthday of Uchimatas, and we were doing them onto the mats. We were doing all over. I showed him all the different ways if it goes wrong, different ways to land, control. I did say to him in the PT though that like sometimes if you hit it really like good and powerful, you kind of got to like pull back and stop it so you land in that back. Top control.
Otherwise you roll over the top.
Otherwise you might roll over and they re-roll you and you end up in a scramble. Now that's what happened to Lockie. He hit this Uchimata and I could tell it was perfect. It was like the guy was weightless and like they sort of hit the ground and ended up in a scramble. And then sort of whatever happened from there. And Lockie pulled it off twice. And he said to me after, he was like, my bottom, like when we hit the control, I was like, man. It's like the first time you're doing an Uchimata in an MMA fight. I was like, it was so perfect. I was like, you did it twice. Like, just popped him off. Like,
once you get the hang of them, it's so easy. I use them always against the cage. And because he's tall like me, for him to get underneath someone that's short, it's hard. But anything standing with the little trips and the Uchimata, things like that, it's such a good like.
It's got to build for it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So he hit what he did say to me. He said, James, it was like nobody was there, and I was like, that's when you know you've just hit it perfectly. Like it feels like you haven't even lifted anyone. You know, when it's like awkward, and you're like trying to move someone.
They're sitting back too much.
Yeah, you hit the timing on it. So nice. I was like, you didn't land in a perfect position and have awesome control, but it was still experience. Like to go from doing a PT on them and like probably training them in class or whatever with you and stuff, and then pulling it off in the middle of a fight. I was impressed.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff he was doing. I want to sit down with him and go through it. Same with Alexis and that. Go through it with you as well. It was like leave it like a week or two just to get over all the stuff. People are bashed up. You were fine. Like you didn't get touched, mate.
Hit Northbridge tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. How do you feel about going pro?
I'm excited.
Excited, yeah.
I think just feeling that level, even in the room with like dudes now, like little Kev, Frank, Moses, and just feeling that lucky to have dudes in my weight class that are there already, so it kind of gives me a good look beforehand. But I'm excited because I was like we talked about, I was like, where's all those flyweights?
There's more coming through us. I keep track of them. Anytime there's a promotion, I'll see it come up on my Instagram or whatever it is, and I'm screenshotting them. I remember these names because I want to see who's winning, who's doing what, and then these are people we can get like match with or get on the show. You know what I mean? Because we just wanna. There isn't a lot. Like so, it's like trying to match like female fighters. That's a nightmare because it's like there's only so many. Most of them are amateur. Not many go pro.
Small pool.
So small, and then you'd even find the perfect match where they're both the same and they won't fight. They won't fight the other person for whatever reason because they're trying to look after the record or whatever. So, which, you understand it. But, like, there's not many females. But same thing with flyweight, same thing for heavyweights. You can't be too picky because it's like...
Take what you can get.
Exactly. If you're, like, a lightweight, you're, like, a featherweight, man, you got, like, so many people. But, like, if you go flyweight, you go, like, heavyweight, it's not many. There's not many around, especially pro. But I'm excited to see you go pro. And then how are you going to manage with the 3-5s, you think?
We'll soon see. I think that the training and stuff and the prep work that we do in here gets it enough, and then getting bashed by Frank enough in his 5s is good.
That's right.
Gives me good prep, but I'm excited. I feel I like the idea of a longer round.
Yeah.
I don't know, just to get more of a look. I feel like the 3-3s are like a bit more of a...
So let me just ask you, right, because you look the same as me when I do one round. I do one round right in here, and I don't feel that bad. But I'll finish. I'm like, oh jeez, and then I'll go back in. I'll do my next round. I'll do quite a few rounds. And he looks the same. He'll finish. He looks like he's just done a marathon. And I'm like, you all right? And he's going, yeah, fine. I'm like, you look like you're dying. But how did you feel after the 3-3s? So the last fight you had, how did you feel after that 3-3s?
I think that I was laughing about that the other day because I think it must be a footy thing because really? Each time I'm just like,
you do the same movement. You put your elbow up and you go, you're walking around like this, and the grimace on your face. I'm like, are you tired? And he's like, nah. I'm like, what's wrong with your face?
Just trying to get that air back in.
Did you get tired in that fight in the last round or anything?
No,
you were riding that body.
Riding that body triangle. I was like, he told me to switch to. I could hear it, and then I was like, then he comes up
to mount.
Yeah,
to mount, and then
just every time he rolled you to your foot side, like so where you've locked your body triangle up. So when you were on the side with your feet in the air of your body triangle, I was like, punch him, like, and then try and find you rear naked. And then every time he'd like roll you over to your feet were on the mat, then I would say, come up to mount. I would yell at you to come to mount.
Because it's the same situation as what Moses last fight.
Yeah.
He would take the guy down, get the body triangle. He's got control. He's winning the round. He's winning his punching, throwing. But then the guy was like, you could have switched on top and get that finish. You know what I mean? Yep. But you were still winning. You're winning every round.
Well, so he was fully winning. He's fully controlling. But I just in my head, I thought, if Steve's here right now, he's telling him to go to mount. So I'm like yelling at you to go to mount. Every time he took you to your feet side, I was like, go to mount. And then you would go back. Yeah. And then I was like, punch him. And then you go back. And I was like, go to mount. And then he actually got out and ended up on top of Jesse. I
laughed to myself in the fight. I was like, you should have fucking done it.
Should have gone to mount. But, yeah.
It's just when you get to that side, the feet start separating. Next minute, when the back's on, and then it's like, who's going to scramble faster here, get on top, and then...
Yeah, because I kind of thought, I was thinking, like, I knew, in my mind, I knew you'd won, but I thought, it didn't look like you were going to get the finish, you know. You got fatter gloves on as well.
Grabbing the glove,
and I was just like, you just couldn't, even with your strikes, you can't quite get in there. Hard to get under the chin with the bigger gloves. His gloves are in the way. So I thought, why not come on top, finish the round in mount, and like just landing some shots.
The big difference when you're grappling with them smaller gloves, it's such a difference.
So much a difference
because where they can grab stuff, they can block stuff. The smaller ones just slide through. It's like nice.
The other one's got that little lump, so like when even people do that,
it's 100%.
So much better. When I do the Shark Tanks with Kev, it was like the first couple of times.
Put small ones on?
No, the first couple of times I wore the sparring gloves, and I like have them against the wall, and I'm like, I can't get my hands through behind to like lock them up and stuff.
Yeah.
And so then I think I did it like twice, and then I was like, stuff this. I put the smaller gloves on so I can. My job is to like try and out wrestle him and out grapple him, and they were like hindering me, so I put the small. I'm like, not really.
We say there's a big difference between the size of the glove. It's a big difference between doing it on that wall and doing it in the cage here.
It's got give in
it. You got a bounce on here, you haven't got a bounce on there, your fingers get caught. There's all these different like variables.
I've been sparring in here every Thursday with Matt. And it's been good because like.
But it opens up in your head, doesn't it? It's like, oh, I can't really get away with this, or this I can do this now. I can bounce him off.
And
a little bit.
One thing I've noticed a difference of, obviously you guys would know this, but just from sparring in here with Matt, and then like doing all the Shark Tank stuff with these guys. But I find like when I do get, because I just try and get a hold of someone and then I want to put them on the cage or I want to put them on the ground.
Don't use your taekwondo?
I don't use my taekwondo now. I just use my...
It's always in the back pocket.
I just use my...
Keeps it deep in the back pocket.
Black belt taekwondo, black belt jiu-jitsu, yellow belt judo. So I've found that when I do get them on the cage and if when they try and get out, so when you're on the wall and someone sort of starts to come off the wall, you kind of like run parallel for a bit because the wall's flat. Yeah. But here what I found is that when they start to come off the cage, because it angles in, you can kind of put them again back on this because it helps you almost if you're the one trying to put them on the cage because it angles in here.
It's the same with the striking because I was working with Jesse before his fight and a couple of the other lads is that you're trying to move them where you want them to move and then predict the angle they're going to come around. Yeah. So like say like I'm like pressuring or striking, you throw a certain shot on this slightly on the right side, they're going to move off to the right and then you're going to catch them and meet them with your strike, a kick or punch or whatever, or your takedown. Yeah. Same thing with the grappling, you're trying to predict where you're trying to move them so it takes the options away and then try and take them down from there. So it just changes the game, just the shape. Imagine this was like a full circle. Yeah, that would be different as well. Yeah, if it's a ring, it's different, So but I was very impressed with your fight. I'm looking forward to seeing you working with your small gloves and your elbows.
Yeah, that's going to be the one. I was just saying to Lukey, I was like, Ren caught me with an elbow by accident 2 weeks before the fight and split this one, and then I was laughing because I'm like, and Lukey caught me with that knee before the fight and I was like, man, I'm 0-2 with knees and elbows in here. Shit, I got plenty of practice. Yeah. No, that's going to be exciting. I think...
it changes the ground and pound game completely.
Feels like you can't chill anywhere.
Oh, yeah, no. You've got like a lot more space. But for attacks for you, like it's good. You're very smooth. You're good at level change. You're good at getting position on the floor. You can start utilising your elbows and that. So we start playing with it with the spine, put your elbow pads on. We can start incorporating that.
Someone did actually, I think I saw in the questions asked about his jiu-jitsu background.
Yeah, so there's we put like things thing on before and I posted them up like got any questions for the old Brown Sugar, How did you get that name Brown Sugar, by the way?
I got it off some legend. I actually got it given to me off my jits coach James. Yeah.
Passed it on
to you. Yeah. Where were we? When we were at the Gold Coast card. Yeah. And then I harassed you about it, I reckon. Yeah. And then what was I going to be?
Well, because James was calling himself Brown Sugar with his brown belt. So people don't know. Yeah. So he was kept calling himself Brown Sugar. And then he was thinking, he's wanting a fight name. And he's like, I like Brown Sugar.
Yeah. I just thought I'd plant the seed,
Yeah, well, they did. They told me, they're like, Jesse really wants Brown Sugar. He really likes that. And I was like, oh, he can have it. I'll gift it. I'll gift it to him. Yeah. So it suits you better.
Cool. It'd be good. I think it'd be good for T-shirts.
True. I'm working on design right now.
Yeah, I reckon, yeah.
Yeah. Because I think we must have been cornering then. It must have been domination. So it wasn't the Queensland Eternal. It must have been domination. And I think I went and said to the announcer to say when he won the fight, to say Brown Sugar. That's right. Yeah, and he did. Yeah. So at the end of the fight.
Because then he shouted it out, and you were like.
Yeah, I was like, there we go.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool.
And then so your jiu-jitsu background, they want to know about.
Jiu-jitsu background. Okay. I actually
did you start with Richard?
Started with Richard back in Albany. So I think I chucked in football. I was playing footy down south, and I chucked it in at like 21, and then I was like, man, I got nothing else to do. Like,
you started jiu-jitsu when you were how old?
I started my jiu-jitsu at 22.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah. So
if you get to roll with it, so one of the other questions, like when did you start jiu-jitsu, and then someone else has gone like, asked about his jiu-jitsu background because you feel like a heavyweight when you're rolling with people. Like you get that much pressure on top. So to say you started at 22, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was, I give credit to Rich and like the idea that I didn't have as much time as a few of the other crew on the mat. So I was like, fuck, you know, family or whatever. And I was like, man, I got obsessed with like writing notes. And like after training and stuff, I'll write a bunch of notes. So it feels like I'm like making up for it. And I feel like that was...
How would you structure it? How would you do that?
Before training, I'll write like a note on something I'm working on. And then during the session, like say if we got sparring, like I'll write a note, maybe you or James says to me, like, I think, like, oh, not checking leg kicks enough. I'll write that. And it's just simple stuff that I'm like, okay, when I'm in here, I'm working this. And that way I'm kind of making the most of the sessions.
But do you put it into a structure? I mean, cause I was the same. I would like, before I started videoing, I'd write notes. The way I would do it was be like, I'd have my initial notes of whatever it was because it'd be too like complicated to put it into where it was. But my other notes was like, it was almost like a tree and branches. So I'd have like guard, open guard, close guard, mount, then I'd have escapes and I would have attacks. And then I'd put all these different branches and then that's how I'd do it in my book. So then I have like, when I look into it, I can go, right, today I'm going to practice going on this branch, and this one I'm going to add in this branch. So do you just write them down as like individually every time in your notes?
I think it like, because I do the notes for each session, I'll be like, what's a common problem that's coming up like with everyone I train with? And then I'm like, all right, I need to work that because it's coming up with every run.
Yeah.
So like,
which is really shows a professionalism on how you train, because not many people do that. People say they do stuff like this, but they don't actually do it. And then they just keep doing the stuff they always do. And they say, why am I not getting any better? Because you're not working on your weaknesses. You strengthen your strengths, and you just got to work on your weaknesses so that they become your strengths. You know what I mean? And by writing it down, at least you got an idea, and then you come in, you go, I'm going to practice that. So I would presume you'd come in and think, I'm going to practice doing that stuff, yeah?
Because I can feel when I have shit sessions is where I'll be like, just doing any random shit. And I'm like,
sometimes you gotta have fun ones. Yeah, just like do whatever, you know.
And I'm like, eh.
So you got to purple belt under Richard?
Yeah, got to purple belt under Rich. I haven't competed at purple belt yet, but I'm hoping that'll be much.
You were a purple belt when you came to Wolves Den.
Yep.
You were doing gi and no gi down there?
Mostly no gi, but we did do like gis for like grading and stuff. But I won't lie, I like no gi. Hopefully, I'm gonna get a gi soon.
Yeah, because you need to progress you through and get you more. Yeah, I think to me the gi helps a lot with MMA for positional, for movement. Even though it doesn't, it's sort of like you tell someone from the outside perspective, "What are you talking about? You don't even wear gi when you're doing MMA." But it's the position. If you fight someone who's good at gi, they don't give you any space. Yeah, like it's different from no gi. No gi you can explode and move, and there's pros and cons to both. But I think it's good to do both. You know what I mean?
It's not going to hurt. It's never going to hurt.
It's not going to hurt. And it's like an extra thing to learn something new. Like, how do you do a loop choke? How do you use the gi to do this and that? It's just something different. It's like almost like going, like, we're going to do kickboxing. We're going to give you, like, a stick. And you got to add something in. And it's just different, you know what I mean? Like, then you go, okay, I'm going to think of something different here, you know?
In my opinion, I think what I notice a lot of is because obviously all the gi guys do no gi as well, but not necessarily the other way around. No, and true. So you'll see like, so maybe like a lot of the people that you roll with that are like good, I don't know who you would say is good to roll, like is a good jiu-jitsu level in here, that you probably see them like throughout the week in gi like a lot, and then they roll no gi, and then they're the ones that are like can really hold you, or they're happy to sort of like get in the fire a little bit. Like I do notice that if you're only doing no gi or MMA, it's a real quicker disengage. Just you do not want to get held, which is okay. Yeah, that's fine. But when you do get caught, it's the guys that do gi. They're used to being stuck. Like you get stuck because of the friction and the grips. So now they're happy to like they can hunker down in there and they can start to work that technical step-by-step escape. And if it's I'm too late for this escape, they've got another escape. They're too late for that one, they've got another one. Whereas sometimes it's the guys rely a little bit too much on just getting out before.
It's the frustration of starting again. That's what puts people off. That's why I'm really pushing at the beginning, starting the gi, but do no gi as well, but do your gi. Because then to me, like now I did 16 years of no gi. And then I started putting my gi on and I'm like, oh, this is awful.
Yeah.
Like, this is so bad. Like, I was doing bits and pieces, but this was so hard. What's he doing? I'm like, hey, why is he putting behind my back? Why is he doing this? And I didn't understand it. And now I've done like so much more years with gi. I'm like, it's just different. It's so much fun. Like, it's so much fun. It makes you think more.
Yeah.
So but then you can't switch. You can go no gi to gi. And yeah, and again, you're going to get like certain gaps where you go, I usually grab you here, but I can't grab you now. But if you go the other way, man, you get people getting so frustrated, going, I don't want to do it because I'm not good at it. But you're not good at it because you never do it.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed only recently, like really noticed, was that, a gi guy can take the gi off and then go and roll no gi. Like someone like Charles.
Yeah,
like, remember, he I don't think he's like ever done no gi in his life, and he competed in the
transfer
quintet
as well.
Right? Like, you can just... And then, but if you're a no-gi guy and you put a gi on, you were getting ragdolled. Like, it's like tough. And you could be like a pretty good no-gi. And I always like think about triangles the most. Like, you chuck a triangle on someone and they're like no-gi, slippery, sweaty, and they just kind of, you just back out and reef out of it. And it's like, it's hard to do that in gi because of all the friction in the grips. You can't just back out. So I have like 5 different escapes from a triangle, whereas like I might ask like a no-gi, how many escapes you got from a triangle? Their number one is to like rip out, and then now they're a bit caught. They might have like, maybe they got one other one. But you've got like 5 for different varying levels of how stuck you are, because you're always stuck when you're in the gi. Like, you're now... Okay, stack passing, like push-up passing. Like.
The slipping out doesn't come in anymore.
No. So now when you do get caught, you got to think about, this is something else I've realised lately, is sometimes things work on white belts, right? Like, white belts get white belts with stuff. Even think about this for MMA as well. You're going pro, right? So at the moment you're fighting amateurs. I mean, amateurs are like really good now as well, but you got to think about, you want things to work against the best guy. You don't want to go, oh, it works against this amateur now, that's good enough for me. No, it needs to work against the best guy. So you might be doing something and I'll be like, you could be tapping every single person in the gym with it, and then I've got to say to you, Jesse, you're doing it wrong, and you're like, I just won a competition with it, I just won an MMA fight with it, I just submitted 5 people with it, but it's like, works against that level. I want you to have it so it works against the top level, because if you try it like that against me, maybe it's not going to work, that thing. So
and depends on the mindset as well. As like, what you're doing it for. Are you doing it for a hobby, or are you doing it, I want to really go somewhere with it? You know what I mean? Like, because if you beat the normal guys, they're happy. That's cool, mate. You know what I mean? But if you're thinking like Jesse he could be going to these high level promotions, it's like, okay, I need to practice to beat the best guy. The best in the world, like that's what you should be looking at. You know what I mean?
And that was always I don't know if it's like a wrong mindset or like something that, I mean, you talked about it a few times, where it's like the person I'm always, and I heard Robert Whittaker say a similar like quote, is like, the person you have in your head is always 10 times better than the person you get in there with.
Yeah.
And then it's like building. You talked about it, building someone in your head, and it's like same thing. I like to think the person beats me everywhere, and then I'm not slipping.
No, because you go, I beat him in the strike and I beat him in the grapple. My fitness is better. No, you imagine this person is better in everything. That way, it keeps you on your toes.
Yep.
Because some people say I go a bit too much, and I say to the guys, I'm like going, he'll be training without you, he'll be doing this, he'll be doing that. And I go, oh, you're stressing me out. I'm like, no, you need to prepare yourself, and then I need to push you. I need to get you to that point where I've done everything I possibly can to get you ready, and then it's your own skill level that it's going to get you through. You know what I mean? In your training that you've done, have you put the effort in? But you always do. You know what I mean? There's some people I don't have to bother with, like, as in like, just support them, guide them, whatever. Other people, I'm like ringing them, like, where are you at? I thought you want to fight. I thought you want to get better. And like, why are you not in the gym? It doesn't make any sense to me. Are you doing it for a hobby? Okay, cool. All right, but don't like push me to get high level stuff for you, because like you're not treating this like a professional thing. There's other guys in the gym, you got to kick them out. You got to leave now, get out. Oh, I want to do a few more rounds. With other guys, you have to ring them up and go, where you at? I haven't seen you for a week. You know what I mean? Whereas like you're just in the quiet achiever. You always, where you come from, Jesse?
Assassin.
Yeah, silent assassin. He's always here. He's like, what the hell? Like, where'd you creep in? And he's just doing the work, putting the pace on him, and that shows in your fights. You know what I mean? And then the harder you train, the easier the fight's going to be. It's obviously that cheesy quote, but like it's true. It's true. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd love to see put the gi on and get some gi in. You know, you just supplement your other stuff with a little bit of...
Just once a week,
As soon as I get home, jump on the website.
Yeah. Exactly. I think it's just like supplement. Like I do a little bit of MMA, and I think that helps my... I don't fight in the cage, but I think doing the MMA stuff with like you and Kev and Olden and in here every week with Matt doing sparring rounds, MMA rounds, that helps my jiu-jitsu. So when I'm in a jiu-jitsu comp and it starts to become like a scrappy, like flat out scrambling match, I'm like, well, I'm used to this with Kev.
Yeah.
You know, that's why that like half AL towards the end, I was like, he's getting tired. Like, I was already tired, but I was like, he's getting tired now. I was like, I got to deal with Kev, man. Like, you know, once a week doing Shark Tanks. I was like, I will break you. Like,
it's a different style of jiu-jitsu, that MMA sort of style, but also
that was in the gi though. So there's another thing, because Matt came to watch, and he said to me, he goes, I was so surprised. He goes, the gi was way more exciting than the no gi, and I said, I think it's like a weird having a shift, because you watched my matches.
No, but it depends on the kind of style someone's got. Is someone just going to go leg locks, or is someone going to push and pass and try and go for
scramble?
The stuff?
Because you saw, but like my gi was way more full on than the no gi was.
Just
like
the style of the individual as well.
Yeah, and then the gi was just like up, down, bang, 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 and I was like, well, now I'm doing like MMA Shark Tanks with Kev, but in the gi match. So I was like, I can go up and down.
I've been here before.
Yeah, I can snap down, wrestle up, wrestle down, like come, you know. So,
but I think it's like also you're doing jiu-jitsu all day long, you're doing PTs, teaching, whatever. Doing a little bit of MMA, it's different.
Yeah.
It's the same but different, and it's interesting. And then I'm putting you in the corners and stuff. Now you're getting a better understanding, and you're going, okay, this is what you need to be. You don't want to be doing this and that, you know. So I think it just makes everything more fun.
Yeah,
I just adding something in, because it's same but different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think it just supplements. I said that to Ren, because she started putting the gi on. Well, I mean, she competed in gi and got gold.
That's wicked. Yeah,
she started putting the gi on, and I said, yeah, you don't have to like. You know, commit to it completely. Just use it just to supplement everything else. Like I think doing that MMA stuff helps my jiu-jitsu. I'm not getting in there to punch anyone, but it definitely helps. Like if I'll quickly scramble out, I'll quickly wrestle up, I'll quickly grab a body lock when the guy tries to get away, because I'm used to doing that with Kev now. So
but how fun is it though?
Yeah,
so fun is just different, isn't it?
So it just helps. Like I think and gi will help the other way. So
yeah. That's the sermon on gi.
Yeah, so get back in there. Get back in there so we can then you'll be the real brown sugar.
Yeah, exactly. Get that brown
I'm ordering it now.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're obviously going pro Feb, hopefully pin on matches again. There is more flyweights or bantamweights, but there's not as many as other weight categories, so we'll see what we can get and see what promotions we can get onto.
Yep.
But also you've been busy with this bad boy here,
The drip.
The so how did that all start?
So Pick Your Poison, I reckon. Pick Your Poison is a comfort wear brand that's inspired by jiu-jitsu that I probably thought of about 3 years ago, and I've slowly been chipping away at it. Like I designed the logo, and I also went to Brisbane because I wanted to print my tees as well. It's just a comfort wear brand, so I just wanted stuff that you could wear to training, during training, and after.
Yeah.
The Pick Your Poison name was something that probably everyone's felt when they've trained with someone. That first experience when you're like, someone's just toying with you and doing what they want, and just like, oh, you want to get armbarred, buddy? Triangled.
Yeah.
I might rear naked choke you.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, pick your poison. That's what it felt like for me. Thanks to Rich.
Yeah.
But that feeling, I just felt like everyone would have felt that when they first started. That's like, pick your poison. It sounds kind of catchy as well.
Yeah.
So all the tees and stuff that I designed, like I wore some Pick Your Poison shirts on the fight.
Yeah.
Some pink ones.
Yeah.
And I print the tees and stuff myself, which is cool as well. I do heat press on most of my tees and the rash guards as well.
Yeah.
And it's like a little side quest.
A side hustle.
Yeah. And it's fun, and it's funny because when I come in here, I wouldn't tell anyone about it, and I just wear it, and then you get an honest opinion of like, what's that? And it's just like, oh, that shit's kind of shit, bro. And I'm like, oh, that one missed. I don't know where I got this.
Same name as the other one.
I don't know. Some dude sent it to me.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've been like kicking away at for like 3 years.
That's wicked, man. Yeah, because I knew you did the heat press and stuff like that, and then I seen you wearing them, and I thought, oh, this is nice. Like, and you'd wear this out and about, you know, like so.
I'm partnered up with my mate Ethan, who does all the website and like all the marketing stuff because I'm not as good at that, I suppose.
Are you selling them online as well?
Yeah, so mostly online, and then any of the crew at the gym, I'll just drop it off.
So what's the website?
Website's www.pickyourpoison.com, and on Insta as well, on Facebook.
Nice, wicked. So give it a follow, check it out, and let's get some more designs. What are the designs you're going to do?
So this is the next tee that's coming out. It's called Chasing Belts.
Oh yeah, nice.
So I designed this one probably about a couple months ago.
Why has it got purple belt?
I couldn't go to the brown yet. I was like, oh, what colour will pop? And then I was going to do the other colours weren't as. So with the design, it kind of matched.
I like it, man. I like it. It's really cool.
Yeah, so this one will be out in like a month, I reckon.
Yeah. I get
Christmas present.
You'd be surprised, like, there's so many people like coming up with really good ideas. Some of them like they're hit and miss, but like I've seen yours and I thought really, really nice designs. And there was over in when we were over in the Worlds, and that one they bought 3 of them t-shirts. It was like a father son, and what was it called? Floor roll or something.
I saw you wear it on the podcast.
Such cool design. Never heard of them before, and I bought like 3 of them, and I thought I'll have them. You know, like that's just like I can wear them out and about, and it's really like cool little vibe and stuff. But yeah, I'm liking these. I hate the ones that like too like just full on aggressive. Like you remember that old school, you know?
Tatami.
Nothing wrong with him. I'm just saying. Where's your
That's
t-shirt?
never gonna die. No, I didn't wear it tonight. I was gonna, but
that's another story.
I wore it out with Alden the other weekend to the pub. Like always got to wear it with him. Yeah,
that's funny. That's funny. So that's really cool. That's an exciting thing because I know you just changed jobs. You're now like a mentor.
Doing mentoring at TAFE at the moment. I was doing mentoring and driving instructor, like autos. But I'll be happy to not see another learner for a little bit, I reckon.
Yeah.
Enough.
When you said you did that, I thought, it's so stressful. It'd be so stressful.
With the dual controls, it's not too bad, but it's like a mixed bag of who I would get in the car. So I was like, it's going to be a rough one today.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get a train.
So you're just working in the city now?
Working in the city. I started at a weird time because there's no students.
Right.
So now it's just like dead at the TAFE, and I'm like, and my boss is like, don't worry, man.
So you're actually teaching, or you what?
So I'm helping most of the Aboriginal students that are there with like support getting through their course.
Right.
So a lot of them like need extra help tutoring or getting through their studies, and I'm like just floating around.
All right, okay. That's cool.
Jesse's got him on the floor. He's like, now when I get him here, I got to set this where I put my armbar on here, right, guys? So,
And by the way, buy this shirt.
Buy my stuff, and I'm just working to get my brown belt. So if you can put this gi on, so I can practice some chokes.
Yeah, that's gonna help me out. Yeah.
Well, I was the driving instructor role did work because I wasn't doing any hard labour or nothing. So I was like, I'm sitting in the chair all day, but stressful. But this one's like the same. Might strain my back at a computer or something.
Yeah. It's a hard one because some of the guys coming in the gym and they're doing like very manual labour jobs and it's really hard on the body. And they're coming into training in the evening and like you see they're coming in, it's like, obviously they want to get the sessions in and stuff. I mean, obviously yours, you're going between the.
Still got the I came in today, like you probably see me coming today. I was like that. And I've been paving all day today, and I was just like,
feel a bit cooked.
Yeah, well, because I come in here. So I'll like pave on the days I am paving. I'll pave all day, and then I come in here and I'll be here till like 9 at night. So, and I'm trying to like train and roll as well, or like in here at 6 or 7, training then off, and it's hard like that doing both. I think I really notice that like as you get older, like now you could do it.
What me for?
Well, because Jesse's younger than us both. So, but when I was younger, you could just kind of.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't a good thing, but you could just deal with it. But now I'm like, I can't. It's so hard to do both. You just
a lot of the fighters do as well. Like they come in and they're doing that full time job, like crazy hours during the day, but very manual labour. And like, man, remember when you do that sort of thing? It's like you can get away with it when you're younger, but as you get a bit older, it's harder and harder. You know.
And all the little injuries start to accumulate, like from training.
That's like even with I switched it up with the strength and conditioning stuff. I never do it. I'd always do it after.
Yeah.
I always try to do it after.
Yeah.
Because I found I was getting more injuries when I was doing it.
Before? Because you were fatigued?
Fatigued.
Yeah,
I felt like it was just popping up too much, and I was like,
So how many days a week do you do the S&C?
Depends on the session. So if it's like you cook me a train and I'm like, nah, I'll wait for the next one. And if I felt like it was a lighter one, I'll go after.
Yeah. Well, just do it at home?
Do it at home. Nice, and just pretty much what we're doing in here, just emulating at home. But it was just like less injuries.
Yeah.
Felt anyway.
Yeah. Is anyone, when you go pro, anyone you're looking at you after or no?
Whoever you match me up with, I'm just like...
I'm just saying, if I was talking to like Moses, he'd really give me a list, but I'm saying who you... Maybe someone you like watching and going, oh, that'd be cool to fight, you know. Whether you want to fight him now or in the future, it might not be anyone, but like if there's anyone like you're thinking, oh, that'd be a cool challenge, you know, or cool fight.
No one comes off the top of my head, but I like the idea of someone who switches stances, someone who's like
you,
a bit more dynamic. So then it's like I've got more problems.
Yeah,
because I feel like that'll do. I don't know. I have to figure it out a bit more in there.
That's cool. Yeah. A
bit more difficult.
I'll have a look.
More problems. I thought you want the easiest fight possible, don't you? Isn't that the whole thing? Like the easiest fight possible, win as quick as you can and get out of there. Jesse's like, just get me someone harder, like someone.
Let me write some notes real quick.
More problems, yeah.
Yeah, I got a list of boys that I'd like to go against. I think it'll be good fights for you. But yeah, we'll see what they come back with. See if anyone's keen and wants to jump in. You're not like going to be. I don't know if anyone's going to be jumping on board to fight you straight away, like coming off your record from amateur. But we'll see. We'll see who steps up.
Yeah,
anyone wants to smoke.
And so you guys are off on Sunday?
Yeah, Monday. Yeah, so we go on Monday. Jakarta. We go to Jakarta, coaching the Australian team for the MMA World Championships, and luckily I'm taking with me Kevin, who got like silver last year, but obviously didn't get the gold because
he had a punctured lung.
Punctured his lung apparently.
That's insane.
I know, it's crazy. The doctor, don't get me started on that, but hopefully he'll do well this time. He's looking really good. Got Ren, who won the gold at the New Zealand one.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like a great pool of people, but she did really well, really good against there's a lot of pro fighters in the one last time at Bangkok. And you got Ren fighting, Harvey obviously did well at the New Zealand one, and I want him to get in there and give it a good go. I think he's got potential to do well. Same with Luke, Jack Mills. If you ever roll with him or move around with him, he's a nightmare.
He's my favourite.
Like, yeah, man, he just throws bombs, and then his grappling's really, he just doesn't stop. Like, he's too small for flyweight, really, but like he's more like a strawweight. Mm-hmm. But if you roll with him,
yeah,
he's good. Like if he gets you back, he's a problem. Like even though he's like that small, like even with me, I'm like, you know. Who else we got going over? Josh the Bosch.
Josh the Bosch.
Bosch on with people. So he's made so much improvement since he's moved here from Thailand, and he's just training full time, so he's progressing so much. Like he's the kind of guy, you tell him something, and I'll walk in, he won't even know I'm coming in. He'll walk in, he's practicing what I've been showing him to do. Like he's doing it in the corner by himself. So the Bosch, yeah. It's just like he just wants to get better all the time.
Yeah.
Same with Kevin stuff, and then who else we got going over? So we've got Ryan, obviously Ryan coming over that slick chalk victory on his pro debut.
Fine, Ryan.
Yeah.
That was like a Uno reverse.
Yeah.
that was wicked.
That was so good, yeah. It was just like, it was against a brown belt as well, so like he just defended, chill, reversed it, got the opportunity, punched, then took his back and chalked him out with 10 seconds to go or whatever it was, I'm not sure.
That Adelaide crowd don't like them brothers.
Nah, it's not like Jankowski's, yeah. I'm going back over in March, actually, hopefully got a fight. I can't say whose it is now, but there's a fight coming up. But yeah, busy. Jakarta's going to be good.
So that's like eight people going then?
I think
so. I had a couple of.
Frank is going to come over now. He's going to come over anyway with Ryan, so he's going to help me coach as well.
Because you had a couple fall off injuries, I think.
Yeah, so Aaron with his thumb and stuff broke it, and who else we got? I think that's it. Yeah, I think everyone else. Who else dropped out? No one else. That's it.
I thought there was someone else.
But yeah,
Wongi, what's Wongi?
Oh, Wongi was thinking about doing it, but then I don't think he get the time off and whatever. But we've got a good group from all around Australia.
Yeah,
should be pretty cool.
Are they having that in cages or rings?
cage now. So it's the first time we've done it where we've gone over and it's been in cages. So it's all going to be in cages, which totally changes the dynamic of having the 5-rope ring. It's very different from what kind of stuff you're going to do using the cage and using it to get up and using it to pin them and stuff. So it's very different from the ring we did last time. And in Jakarta, I've never been in Jakarta, so it'd be fun to go there. And I think it's one of the biggest ones they've done. So I think there's about 500 to 600 competitors, and there's about 70 odd countries or something like that. So,
do you get 2 fights in, or is just the one guaranteed and then you get through?
Depends how many. So, like, you look in Ryan's division, I think he had 20 plus people in his division. So he's going to have like 5-6 fights or something like that, over 3 days. So fights start. So imagine
a year's worth of fights.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I like turning the boys over, because like it's all under amateur rules. So it's under amateur scoring and stuff. So it's not going to go on your pro record or anything. But you're going to get like this guy who's like this level, like the one that who broke Kev's rib. I think he'd had 16 pro fights. He was ranked in the top 10 in Russia, wherever he was. He'd had 200 plus Sambo fights. And we didn't know any of this when he'd gone into it, because you don't know any people. And then Kev beat him. Like, even though he broke his rib, he beat him. And then he went on to the final, but he obviously had a punctured lung. We didn't realise. But you don't know who you're going to come against. The girl that Ren fought last time, which I thought she'd beat from China, where there was a bit of mix-up with the scoring, she'd fought against girls from UFC. She'd had like 9 pro fights or something like that. So like, you don't know now. There's lots of pros going in, but it's under that amateur rules. So it's like really, really interesting, really fun, and it's full on. As soon as I get there, it's like meetings, rules meetings, sorting out the guys, cutting weight if we need to, fighting, trying to look up who you're fighting, and it's just like it's really full on. Like when I get back, it's like so there's not like a holiday. It's like really full on.
So the brackets are up now.
So the brackets will come out properly once to do the draw, which the draw's on the Tuesday. So you do the registration on the Monday. I think the draw and the weigh-ins are on the Tuesday. Then they'll do this draw, it'll be a live draw. Then I'll start researching on the night time, seeing who we're fighting, see if we can find them. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday we're fighting. Sunday we fly back. So
it's getting so busy. Like when you think about like you people fighting in Gamma, people fighting like MMA, Domination, Eternal, here, there. Then we've got Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, even to get... I actually had 10 people to compete on the weekend for the SGT. Yeah. Some that haven't like really competed before. They might have competed once or twice, and but 2 got injured beforehand. But it's like just... people like competing and fighting, and we don't push it either. No, like, we never push like anyone to like compete or fight.
I think the force someone or push someone to compete, more likely going to pull out. You know what I mean? Because they don't really want to do it. The ones who come and ask you and they go, "I want to compete, I want to train, I want to fight," and they keep asking, they keep pushing, doing what you tell them to do. That's the ones that are going to like really, in the end, not pull out when the stress gets to you. Because what's it like a week out or a few days out? You start feeling the nerves, the butterflies, a little bit. I mean, I don't know what you're like. I was like a week out, I'm like, oh no, like I'm fighting on the weekend. And a few days out, you're like really starting to shit yourself. And then like you come to the day and you do it. And afterwards, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, But I think if you're pushing someone into it, it's more likely they're going to jump ship before the end,
When would be your next outing then for competition?
I was talking about this like literally yesterday. I want to do more jiu-jitsu comp up to the Worlds. So I'm going to do a bit of comps, a bit of traveling for jiu-jitsu, as in like competing. I do want to do some gi competition and do some no-gi, because I haven't really done any no-gi competition for so long. But obviously, I love the gi, but then my no-gi is like...
You feel like you're edgy.
I just feel like I'm better, at that. So I definitely want to stay with the gi with the points and stuff, but I want to do a couple of no-gi as well. So I wouldn't mind, maybe you can come and travel with me and do some comps and stuff, and we'll get some masters divisions.
I'm enjoying competing. I mean, it sucks. Do you find this is a pretty good question? Like, say before your fight, Jesse. I mean, you're a pretty chill guy, but chill guy. Do you find? Actually, someone asked me this question the other day. They said, "Do I try and get like really hyped up before I competed on Sunday, or do I try and stay chill, or what do I do? I said, good question. I don't even really know, but I think I try and stay in the middle, so I can go up if I need to, like, because I feel like it can be to your detriment if you go in there super hyped up and you see it time and time again, the guys that are like overzealous and they get beaten. Like they look all aggressive, they look hyped up, they get beaten. And if you're too chill, same thing. And then also like that happened to me on Sunday was my first matches. I felt like I was probably a little bit hyped in them with Daz, and he's super chill. Yeah. But because I wasn't too hyped, I was in the middle. I could like bring my level down a bit, not all the way down to match him, but down enough that I wasn't over the top and making mistakes. But then when I went into my gi matches, I was like not in the mind space to even be compared. I actually thought I didn't have any matches until they were yelling at me. I thought I was done for the day because mix up with the matches. But so now I was like way too low. And then I went out there, and then that guy brought the intensity in. It was too... I couldn't come up to match it in that time, but then I'm able to like bring myself up for the next one. Do you find like, I mean, I know you don't you're not all hype up, but do you try and like stay in the middle, and then if you need to bring it up or take it down, or you try and stay chill? Or
I feel like it's similar to what you said, like staying in the middle where you're not too down and you're not like switched on. But yeah, as long as I'm like, feel like I'm there thinking, like I'm not... Even in like sparring rounds and stuff, when like we do the hard rounds and they're like we're real tired, like if I'm still thinking when I'm tired, maybe the movements aren't coming out as good. But like if I'm still thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm still there. Like I feel sharp. But when I'm like getting lost in being tired and getting like, I don't know, sloppy, that's where I'm like, So yeah, before fights, I'm just like, as long as I feel switched on in the head, and then I'm like, I feel good. But then if I'm like, I don't know, daydreaming or just not even in the moment, I'm like, nah, I'm off. I don't feel right.
Yeah.
Do you feel the nerves? Like, do you feel nerves? Because you don't give a lot away of anything.
It's
like,
kind of. I feel like that thing of the person always being better at me than everything is what takes away the nerves.
Right.
So it's kind of what, like, I don't know if it's a bad thing
because you got nothing to prove.
Yeah. And it's just like the person, you're gonna be better than me anyway, everywhere. I don't really have a chip on my shoulder or a thing on my to prove anything. I'm just like, I'm expecting the worst. Yeah. And hopefully it's the best that come out.
That can be like, so I mean, I was the same. I expected the best version of the person I was going to fight or compete against. And that would make me more nervous, but I want to be prepared. But then I'm like you, I'm trying to chill till about maybe like an hour out. Then it's like go time, now switch on. Because to me, it's like, what's the point if you get nerves? You don't seem like getting nerves that much, but if you get nerves, what's the point in like wearing your body out with that nerve? So I try and think about everything else but the fight. Just try and chill out best I can, and then okay, now maybe like an hour out, or when I'm starting to warm up or whatever, focus time. Now it's not going to affect me. Let's get switched on because I don't want to be overwhelmed. That's what I say. All the guys who are fighting, especially first time, second time, third time, they might come at you 100 miles an hour. Yeah. And if you're not ready, you're like a deer in headlights and like, oh, what the hell is just happening to me? So you got to be like switched on, ready, prepare for them to come out hard. If they don't, it's cool. You know what I mean? Like it's like a happy little thing to happen where they're not going to come like 1,000 miles an hour, you know?
Because I've coached. Now I've like cornered bunch of like a heap of MMA fights, coached like countless matches of jiu-jitsu. And a lot of the time, like, especially at white belt, like one person will come out just like guns blazing, and like my competitor will like match that straight away, and then I'm yelling at like our guy to just calm down, like don't match that person's pace, you know, like he's going crazy. You need to chill, like that's not you, don't do that, you know. And then they like bring it down a bit. So that's what I was like, you don't want to be too like, you're like, oh, I'm going out there gonna kill, like you're a Viking about to take out. I feel
like that's where I make the most mistakes. Like when I'm like up, I'm like making stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, did I do that?
Yeah, you're just like, like going nuts. Yeah, I think. But then I've also do the deer in headlights thing as well, and I'm like, God damn it! Like, I walk off, I'm like, if Steve was here, I'm always like, I have to be like, because I'm coaching everyone, and then I'm like, okay, what would Steve say to me? Like when I'm in the match, I'm like imagining like, what would he say to me? Like, go again, James, or do this again, you know, you're like, yeah, do that. Like, okay, got to do that, you know, talking, or what would I say to myself if I was on the side coaching myself, you know, because it's hard, eh? But even though I rock up to the comp on Sunday, pull up and Gemma pulls up, and then I'm like, I fucking hate this shit, eh? Like, I just want to get back in the car and go, like, it's so much. It's just so much.
But it's cool afterwards when you do it.
Yeah.
I hated it. Like, I like the training for a fight.
Yeah.
I love the high intensity training. You're training for something, you're cutting weight, you're doing it. I love that part of it. You get a week out, I'm like, I hate this bit.
Yeah.
I hate the week out. I hate like going in for the fight. When you're in the fight, it's just gonna happen. You know, if once there's a punch thrown or whatever, it's it done. Like, you can deal with it because there's nothing to worry about. You finish it, it was wicked. Yeah. That was really cool. Unless like something really bad happened, like that was a really cool like experience, and I'm glad I did it. And then you just repeat. I
think like, you know, everybody gets nervous. I mean, even Courtney, because like, you know, like you're saying, we don't push anyone to compete or fight, but if somebody even gives you a bit of an inkling, then I'm like kind of on them. I'm like, you know, like you got to give them that push now. Like, I don't care if you do or you don't, but if you kind of, if I think that you want to, then I'm going to try and help push. So like, even Courtney, she's like competed at the highest levels. Like to me, I'm like, she's fought professional boxing on the Tim Tszyu card. She's won championship.
She's won the Gamma Worlds. She's
Worlds,
fought on like every promotion.
And then she got her to do the SGT Masters. Steve and I were like trying to like, jump, you know, have it. And she was like nervous for jiu-jitsu match, you know, like, so everybody gets.
But then like it's a different type of nervousness because you're going, okay, I'm starting off. I'm really nervous. I don't know what to expect. Then you have a few fights and you're going, oh, people expect me to do better than I'm doing. And then you go like, oh, I've done all this stuff. Like you're just reeling it off now. Now it's like, I haven't been in the knee for a while. I haven't been in the mats for a while. I'm expecting a lot more of myself, and so as my coaches or what they expected to be. And now I'm putting more pressure on myself.
Everyone expects her to win.
Which
I said to her, I was like, I tried to tell her, I was like, I couldn't care less. Like, it doesn't make any difference, like whether you win or lose. Like I said to her, I was like, it's just, I'm happy to just be able to say, or like, to be out there competing. She's a brown belt, I'm a black belt, and we're out there competing. It was like, cool, that. It's like, no one cares, but. Once you start to get that higher and higher, like you say about when I compete in the quintets, it's like, I'm like, like if I get submitted by one of my students in front of all my students, I'm like, we go, you know, like, God damn it, like, but it's like, it's funny for me to think like she gets in there with people trying to like kick her head off, and she's like nervous for a jiu-jitsu match. I think everybody gets it. It's just, but knowing that like once you touch hands or touch gloves, then that all goes away because now you're just in the fire, like
100%.
Yeah, going for it. But
I actually want to ask something about we'll round it up fairly soon, but just trying to think because how many kids you got?
I got one
kid, and you got the two, right?
Yeah.
What if they wanted to like compete in MMA?
What would I say?
How would you feel?
Oh, it would stress me out so much, to be honest. Like the girls have competed in judo.
I know exactly. Well, that's why I wasn't going to say judo, jiu-jitsu. I'm just thinking, what would your
MMA,
perspective
like
be?
I mean, they've competed in judo and they're asking me to compete in jiu-jitsu now. They both they want to do a quintet. They've been asking for a quintet for the kids. Yeah,
for the kids.
Yeah, they want a quintet.
They want the smoke.
Yeah, they've been like wanting a quintet. But I mean, MMA would be, another level. Like,
what about you?
I'd say, like, as long as he was, like, I could see he wanted, like, he was actually happy and wanted to, like, do the training and, like, give him a taste of it. Yeah, and enjoying it. I'd be like, that's it, son.
Yeah.
And then I'd be one of those parents that'll just drive him to training every...
Yeah.
You train 3 times a day. You're making me some money.
Because obviously you come from, like, a AFL background.
Yep.
Yeah. And then what sort of, for the guys who don't know, what sort of level did you get to? Why did you switch and stuff?
I played a season down at East Fremantle Waffle because I had like AFL aspirations, but I don't know, I lost the passion for it. Like I think it was because of the trainings. Like I was getting too like in the, I don't know, just going through the motions, and we're getting paid and stuff, but it was just like still just wasn't fun anymore. Like I didn't.
You getting paid to train?
Getting paid to play.
Well,
And then I was like, nah. And then even I went to country and there's a bit more money down there for like, you know, if you played waffle, they'll give you a bit more dosh.
Yeah.
And then that's when I was like, started training jits. And then I was like, man, like, kind of relit that passion. And I was like, man, I like this thing. Like, and then just like doing the thing, and like, as long as I keep that, like the problem solving and like the thing, I feel like that's what keeps me like interested and still doing it.
Right.
And that's what I lost in footy. So I'm like, man, I don't want to get that feeling with this. I'm like, nah, I just want to enjoy it.
Yeah, because I mean, it will never stops, especially jiu-jitsu, MMA, the problem solving never stops. Because you think you've solved everything, and then you come against someone, you're like, why is this not working now? You know,
against this and kicking a ball, I'm like,
that's cool.
I had a period in jiu-jitsu though where I feel like I was like just worrying about winning all the time, and it wasn't fun anymore. And then I wasn't enjoying it, and I thought about like quitting and stuff. You know, like if I had a break for whatever reason, sometimes I'd be like, do I even want to go back? But that was because I lost the fun in it. You know, it's got to be fun, and then it's easy. You know, so
I reckon everyone's had that feeling, when you're like in that. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get this round. I'm gonna get this round. And it's like, fuck, man, it's not.
This is why I'm saying, like, with you, like, for me, like, obviously I do MMA. I've always done like Muay Thai, boxing, jiu-jitsu. I'm always training different. It keeps it fresh for me. So that's what I'm saying. Do a bit of MMA, like with Matt and stuff. It's just different. It's fun. You know, like, it's just fun. Have a bit of fun.
He just complains at me though, because he's like. Because as soon as I get a hold of him, then it's all over, and he's like, "Oh, why don't you stand and bang?" I'm like, "Mate, what? Why do I want to like? Why am I? I don't want to get punched in the face. Like, if I can beat you, like with my skill set, I'm just
a true fighter would." But, you know,
I've been a little bit, and then as soon as I get a hold of him,
just keeps
Khabib just gets a hold of you, and then
I was the same.
It's not boxing, it's MMA, mixed martial arts.
When I went full time, like doing the gym, I thought, if I go full time and then I'm doing this full time, and I start like not liking doing martial arts. For some reason, it came in my head, because I've done it since I was like 8 years old. I thought I really want to, because I've loved martial arts and it's my fun thing to do, and I love learning. What if I do it full time and I start like not loving it? And it had the opposite effect. Like, I love it more than I've ever loved it. I'm always watching it, I'm always learning, like, especially with all the boys and then competing and the girls, and just like, it's just amazing, and then just seeing everyone come through. But there is that worry. You have that worry, like, what if I do this? And it's like, if I compete too much and then I start like not loving it or whatever. But I think you can't love it all the time, especially when you're fighting, because it has to be a bit of a challenge. I can't imagine certain other aspects of sports where you're gonna compete or do that sport and it's gonna be fun all the time. It's not gonna be fun all the time. It's gotta be challenging. Otherwise, what's the point in doing it? Everyone would be doing it. I always come back to stuff like rock climbing or something, like climbing mountains and stuff like. I can't imagine any of that being like really fun. It's just be a slog the whole time. It's not until you get to the top and you're like, look at the view. Yeah. Let's go back down again. Like,
get the helicopter down.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's not easy. I think it's like try and keep it fun, but it's not easy. Like,
no, it's got to be a challenge.
It's not easy.
You got to get someone coming in and doing something, and you're like, well, what I'm doing now is not working.
Yeah.
I've got to solve this puzzle. And you do, you're like, wicked. That's
the best. The car drives home, you're like, how did he catch me with that?
Exactly. Yeah.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. No, not again. Which is cool. So we'll round it up now anyway, because I think that's been a long one. Robin looks like she's going to fall asleep.
Robin looks like she's had enough.
Yeah, she's had enough. Thanks heaps for coming on, Jesse.
Thanks for having me.
So let's have a look. What's your Instagram handle if you want anyone following you?
My Instagram handle is, I think, JesseWin18.
Yeah.
And
what's your brand?
Brand's Pick Your Poison. So it's a comfort wear brand inspired by jiu-jitsu. So check it out.
So we'll put that on the bottom of the YouTube, and then the Spotify, and we'll put that on there so we can have people following. And we're looking for, obviously, Jesse go pro next year, which we're really excited about. Going to Jakarta next week for the Worlds. We'll give you another podcast once we're back from there. And obviously everything else is going to happen with the jiu-jitsu, and all the new events going to happen next year. Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to say?
No. Us.
Okay. Us. Yeah. Okay.
And don't forget to call me Professor. Where's my camera?
Don't ever call him Professor. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Call me Professor.
All right. See you later.